everybody. I hope everybody's okay, can hear me okay. There's a few little things. Can you just let me know and just tell me if the stream is okay for you guys? The reason is we've got a little treat for you. We've decided to try and change things up. We are going to, or we're actually right now streaming to our website. So we're going out to multiple destinations. And I'm not sure if the internet is good enough to withstand all of them. So if you're having any issues, please let us know. So stick around. We've got a very good guest on who's going to talk. He's got some great stories. He's an extremely clever thinker. He's done, I know he's been around right now with Craig Petty, Peter Nardi, doing the interviews, but it's great to have Roman here. I'm going to bring him on in a minute for a Q&A and just to find out a little bit more about Roman and what he gets up to and his sort of creative process, and to also talk about his latest, his release with Armstrong Magic, which we've got as an exclusive in Australia called Hard Stretch. And then later on, we are going to kill the feeds to Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to head over to globalmagicshop.com.au, our website, whereby we can delve a lot deeper into Hard Stretch, and we can be a bit more free in conversation with the gimmick and things like that, so which I think is pretty cool. So if you like that, if you've got any comments, please let us know. Obviously, it's been a while since we've done any lives. So, oh, there we go. There you go, Charlene. So Charlene is here. Say hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm too busy looking at who's joining everybody.
So, and I've just realised I've covered Roman up there, but it's all good. We got you back. So we can see all the comments and everything like that.
Christian, hi. How are you? Jordana, thank you for joining us. Drew, good to see you. Nice to see you all online, and there's more of you on, but you haven't commented yet.
So we've had a huge conversation today with Jordana,
yes,
and which was awesome. And tomorrow, Drew, if you're available, I need to have a quick chat with you as well, my friend. So we'll catch up with you as well. So.
Oh, Wayne! Hi, Wayne!
Oh, Wayne! His flight made it.
Wayne's in. He's not in Sydney, he's in Melbourne.
He's in Melbourne. He gets about a bit, Wayne does.
But we're glad that you made it, and we're glad that you've landed safe and sound.
Yeah, absolutely, because it was touch and go. Didn't think he was going to make it, but the flight was on time. Finally, you get a flight that's on time. So, yeah, so I reckon we'll play the trailer to Hard Stretch. This is a great, unusual effect. It really is very commercial. You can have a lot of fun with it. And then I'm going to bring Roman on. And so without further ado, let's play the trailer and we will get into the Q&A with Roman Armstrong. This button here.
This rubber band, can you feel it for me? Perfect. Yeah, play it like a guitar, great. They're going to change places whilst you're holding on to it, Emma. Okay? So here we go. 3, 2, 1. My name is Roman Armstrong, and this is Hard Stretch.
I'm freaked out.
You can do mind control powers. You see it falls down there like that. It falls down here like this. I can use my mind control powers like this. Are you okay? Your jaw nearly dropped to the floor. Have a look at the ring, make sure it's alright. Would you like to have a look at the band, make sure it's okay? No, one more time. Just the one hand clap. Actually, do the other hand on top like that. Do not let anybody inside. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
How did you do that?
See, the band has now lost its stretch, and what's happened to the ring inside your hand?
That's crazy.
Is that crazy?
What the hell? Look.
I've been closing my rubber band routine with this for years, and it always gets incredible reactions. Okay, we'll try one more thing. But this time we'll take a rubber band like this and we'll take the pen. So if I take it like this and I wrap it around a few times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times like this. Now this one is dangerous, so please do not try this. I have inside my pocket a lighter. So Ariana, can you hold on to this for me? Hold on to that there. Watch, we'll take the lighter like this. Watch. Perfect, watch. Can you, yeah, a little bit higher? Okay. Perfect. Now, put your hand out for me. If this has worked, the molecular structure of the rubber band should have transformed. So now we should not have a big rubber band, but instead we should now have... Is that crazy? Very well. We're not having a social life, actually. We'll do it again. But Ariana, can you take all of these and squeeze them very tightly? Turn your hand over. Okay, one more time. Can you tap 3 times on here? 1, 2, 3. And if this has worked, the rubber band should have fused back together. Okay, so open your hand. Has it worked? Oh. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. What?
Close enough.
Close enough. Thank you very much. I'm Roman Armstrong and I hope you enjoy Hard Stretch.
So guys, without further ado, here is Roman Armstrong. Oh,
Hello.
there we go. So, hi Roman.
Just woken up.
So we'll just clarify. Is it 8:20 in the morning?
Yeah, it's 8:20. I mean, I've just woken up in England, right? But even if what time is it there? Like nearly 5 or something?
4:20.
4:20. If I was there, I would have also just woken up because I love sleeping anyway. So that doesn't really matter. But I hope that I managed to stay awake and can enlighten you all and entertain you all this morning or this afternoon, whatever time it is.
Oh, thank you. We really appreciate you joining us today, Roman. And I'm sure everybody is really excited to ask you questions and hear all about Hard Stretch. And basically we want to start, how did you start getting into magic? When, what age? And
Yeah, so my parents, when I was younger, they were both performers. They met at drama school and they opened their own entertainment agency when I was born. I don't think they wanted to pay someone else to do a kids party, so they just did it themselves. And out of that, they ended up growing their books, and they had loads of people that they'd recommend and send off to do all sorts of gigs. So when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I would follow them around when they were doing these big events, and I'd gravitate towards the magicians that they booked. And yeah, so that's how I got into it, really. I sort of grew up with it and was lucky enough to meet quite a lot of amazing magicians. I mean, one that we all are familiar with, Mr. Craig Petty, superstar, legend. He actually did my birthday party when I was like 10 years old. So I've grown up with these people and sort of grown up kind of with my foot in the door sort of already. But it's not until recently that I've been getting a bit more of attention myself, really, which is kind of weird to say. But yeah, so that's how I got into it.
Fantastic. And so when did you start working as a professional magician then?
I've been gigging since I was about 15, on and off. I think you know when you're like a teenager, you know it's like as and when you can be bothered, really. And then it's really since just before COVID, I was at university, and I was in university in Manchester, and I set up the Manchester University Magic Society, because I realised there were people that were coming to uni that had been interested in magic when they were younger, and as soon as they went to uni, they just lost interest completely because they had to focus on their studies and stuff like this. And I thought it was really sad. So then I realised that there's no platform for people to hang out and talk about magic at uni. And then I sort of caught the bug again and got really excited about it. And it was actually a good thing that we had this lockdown, because I honestly had put no attention into doing my dissertation or any of my essays or anything. And as soon as this lockdown hit, it was like, okay, I guess I should start actually finishing my degree then. And then after that, I just had caught the bug. And Craig, who books me all the time, he got me doing all the virtual gigs and stuff like this. And then as soon as lockdown's lifted over here, I've just been gigging constantly ever since. So it was like gigging since I was about 15, on and off. And then after uni, after COVID, just taking it more seriously.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know, obviously, because he was your first entertainer, children's entertainer, right? Craig Petty. Was he the first magician that you'd actually seen?
No.
Okay.
I've been seeing. There was a magician who unfortunately isn't with us anymore. He was really young, and he was a guy called Nathan Zorchek, and he was this really zany, crazy American guy. He was kind of like sort of Jim Carey, but on steroids. So imagine how mad that is, right? And my parents used to book him all the time. He was like a really sort of close friend of ours, and I'd say that he's the first person that really got me into it when I was like 7 years old or something like that. You know, he'd do all this crazy stuff, and then he'd sort of take me to the side and show me something secret, you know, like a card trick. And yeah, but then I guess Craig. Well, I just was obsessed with the Wizard Product Review back in the day. It was like I watched it like it was my religion, right?
Yeah.
And
you weren't the only one.
I've got to have him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the Wizard Product Review in the early days. John used to put it on his laptop as he was putting the baby to sleep.
Yeah. I used to watch it live, and then I'd watch the reruns as well. And I still go back to older Wizard Product Reviews now, to be honest. Like, so there's a wealth of information there, really. It's a great show. So yeah. What I was going to say, well, welcome. I see that Al Kazam is on. So hello, my friend. See if we've got some anyone new. I think it was just Christian. Hello.
We've said hello to Christian.
Oh, did we?
Did you not hear?
No, I didn't hear you. No. So I hope Christian's moved interstate to follow his career. So I hope everything is going well. We
want to talk about Hard Stretch.
Hard Stretch.
How did you?
I've heard of that.
How did you come up with the idea? Basically, were you already using it in your performances?
Yeah, so I was going through my ring and rubber band routine, and I do at the time it was sort of fairly sort of standard, linking the ring on, that sort of thing, ring up band, and then just ending with like Crazy Man's handcuffs, and it was great. It was fine, and I was watching the Wizard Product Review, I think. Wizard Magic Review now, and they were reviewing something called the world. I don't know if it's pre-watershed in Australia. I think just about. I'll tone it down then. So
we don't have a watershed in Australia.
You're good to go.
There's no watershed. You can say what you like. Okay, perfect. Yeah. It was this thing called the world's hardest rubber band trick, right? Yeah. And it was basically, I think it's Hansen Chen. And it was, yeah. A rubber band that's in the shape of a cock and balls, right?
Yeah.
You have those in Australia? Cock and balls? You have these? Okay, cool. Yeah. And basically, when I heard the name, Hard Stretch appeared in my head, because I thought it was going to be a rubber band that just goes rock hard, right? And it wasn't. And I thought, I've had a much better idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, not that I mean, I use a lot of Hanson Chen stuff, so it's just that one thing that I was like, it really inspired me because I thought, I think I can improve this slightly.
I
So
would
it's a
suggest yours is more
completely
commercial.
different trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A bit more, a bit more family friendly, but completely different trick. But it was the title of it that inspired me, and then because I was doing a trick with a ring as well, I thought, well, why not use everything that's in the routine? You know, if I'm just gonna, I've got these two props in the routine. If I'm doing one thing with the rubber band, then it makes sense to also do something with the ring as well.
Yeah.
And then the final sort of piece of inspiration was a trick by Daryl called Bounce Across. Do you know it? I think it's Bounce Across.
I've heard of it.
I don't. No, I
The
haven't.
thing is that it's basically you have a bit of sort of putty, like sort of Play-Doh,
Yeah.
and then you have a bouncy ball, and you get someone to hold the bouncy ball and someone to hold the putty, and you make the bounce travel across. Okay,
Oh,
so then,
I have. Yeah.
yeah, it's quite an old one now, but the
Yeah.
ball then loses its bounce, and the putty is now bouncy.
Oh, that's a
And I
good
just
one.
sort of love things like that are just so weird and sort of surreal and wacky. And I kind of think that hard stretch is sort of in that same category because the things aren't completely changing places, but it's the essence of it, the materials, this sort of thing.
The molecules.
The molecules, yeah.
The molecular structure.
Yeah,
Is that
Can you
even
tell I
right?
live in Cambridge?
I don't know.
No, I definitely didn't. I definitely didn't. I drove past it once, but I didn't. I didn't go to Cambridge University itself.
He didn't stop. They didn't let him in.
No, but it really is like so for all those guys that haven't actually seen it. We just played the trailer, and I actually think so. There is something in that you have. There's a move that you have to do right to achieve it. Now, one thing I'll say is that Peter Nardi. So obviously this is produced by Alakazam. Peter actually sent me the trailer, but way before it had come out. He was just trialing different trailers, and I had no idea where the move was. I didn't see the move basically, and he told me. He goes, "Hold on a minute, yeah." He says, "I've put it right at the beginning." I went okay, and I went past it, and I'm like, "He said it was at the beginning." And I missed it. It's like the third time. And I was just like, "Pete, is this where it is?" And he's like, "Yeah, how many times did you watch it though?" And I'm like, "Damn it." But yeah, it's so well constructed. The whole routine is so well constructed. And what you need to do is very, very clever. And one thing I will touch on is how well made this gimmick is.
Yeah.
Like, really, really well made. Now, I can't obviously, I'm not going to open it up and expose it. Now, I know on the trailer, you were using your original version. That's right, isn't it? That wasn't the actual, this version. So on there, you'll actually see it's like a little bit crinkly. And I know that Peter got asked about that. This particular version is the final. So basically, Roman's been obviously fully working this, and he was using effectively a prototype so that they could film the trailer whilst these were being manufactured, which was extremely difficult. Now, the extended band, when you're in this position, when you're in this position, that is it's perfect. The gimmick is, so it really looks like an elastic band.
Yeah, it sort of, I like to think it ticks a lot of boxes that were really important to me because the very first one, I have to give a shout out to my sister who put up with me begging her to make that for me because she's actually a professional jeweler, but she's not a prop maker, right?
Yeah.
So, and she also does not like doing things for her family, right? So when I gave her this bit of scrap metal and said, "Please, can you just weld this?" she just went, ugh, duh, bash, bash, bash. There you go. Get out of my way. Right. I've got to carry on making all this. And I was like, that's fine. That's all I need just to see if it works.
Yeah.
But what I wanted it to feel like a rubber band.
Yeah.
I wanted it to feel like, what would a rubber band feel like if it had frozen stiff, and and there were a few different sort of models made. Drew, the prop maker, he's done a fantastic job. But the most important thing to me about the final version of Hard Stretch is that it can survive a gig, right?
Yeah.
So the original one that I had, that wasn't the prototype, it looked so much like a real rubber band. It was so weird. It was like a rubber band that had completely frozen, but it was so fragile and flimsy and basically just like copper that would just bend immediately. And I without trying to give too much away, I sat down and that was it. It had gone. Like it was completely warped out of shape. I didn't want anyone to see it. So this one is just, it's perfect. It will survive so many conditions and looks like a rubber band when you hold it out. So it's it took a lot of versions, but that's why the one in the trailer is not quite the one. You actually, if anything, you get an upgraded version.
Yeah,
the trailer
100%.
sort of downplays it a little bit.
Yeah, because I was surprised, but obviously all the filming and everything's done way before as the process of this is going. And I will say that, and I know Peter's spoken about this as well, so I don't mind saying it, but there was massive difficulties in actually getting this produced. And like you said,
it's not easy.
It's not. It really isn't, to the quality that you get. It really is unbelievable, and it's a credit to Drew as well, to the standard that he's actually brought this at. Again, it's with all Alakazam products. They're really good and really well made. But I think what you've done, because it's not just the hard stretch routine itself, is there, on here? And I mean with the ring and then the stretch band. There's also a linking rubber band routine.
Yeah, so there's the bonus trick on there is it's a really weird trick where you get a rubber band and basically you twist it up, you wrap it around a pen several times, you give it a little bit of heat from a lighter, and then you pluck off lots of little mini rubber bands, like sort of loom bands, you know. The rubber band has divided into lots of little bands. And I was doing this, and I showed it to my mate Aaron Jones, who's an amazing magician, and he said, and they should link after that. And I was like, Aaron, it's really annoying. If you'd given me another like 2 months, I would have come up with that, but he came up with it immediately because he's a genius. So you split the rubber band into these tiny ones, and then they link together into a chain of bands. It's really weird. I actually love that one. I don't know which one's my favourite, to be honest with you. I have a soft spot for both of them, but you have both of those tricks on there. Those are the main tricks. And then I was also lucky enough to be joined by Craig Petty himself, going through loads of just band moves and stuff you can do with regular bands and rings, so that you can really put together your own rubber band routine. And I think that's quite an important thing, because you're not going to get the best out of it. You're not going to get the most out of it on its own. It has to be the finale to a longer routine, right? I mean, you could literally just go, look, I've got a rubber band, I've got a ring, hold this, bada bing, bada boom, done. But what is good about doing it at the end of a routine is that throughout the routine, you're getting everybody to constantly hold on to these items and get used to these items. So then eventually when they do change, it completely takes them off guard, because they just never, ever see it coming. So that's why Craig's on there teaching loads of stuff as well. So you get quite a lot of bang for your buck, really.
Yeah.
It's there's too much, if anything.
But that's the thing about Craig as well. He likes to put a heap of tutorials into his effects as well. But I think personally, that's better than anything.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't want a trick that you can use it one way. You want to get your money's worth out of it, and you want to keep on using it.
Yeah, I remember when.
Yeah.
I remember when Peter first showed us. He told us about it originally, didn't he? And he said honestly, it's when he told me it was a rubber band effect, and he basically told me what it was. But in my own head, I couldn't really visualize it. I mean, obviously I can visualize somebody pulling a band and letting it go and it staying there, but I couldn't understand how it was all going to be pieced together. And he said to me, like you've just done, it's an ending to, and it's a finale to a bigger effect. Now, I never really used rubber band magic. However, I have started to use rubber band magic purely so I can actually end with this, because I think that the finale of you removing your finger and then it staying there is really strong. And anyone that's a spectator realizes that an elastic band is an elastic. It's got elasticity, it moves. So for it to stay there, people go, what the heck? Like, they're really taken back by it.
The funny thing about it is people react differently. Like, loads of people have different sorts of reactions to it. Some people, you let go, they instantly go, whoa. Other people look at it and they haven't clocked yet that it's staying there. They're staring at this thing, and then it's like a beat, like 2 or 3 seconds, and they go, hang on, wait a second. Like, it sort of takes them off guard massively. They've been staring at it for a few seconds. So yeah, it's a really fun one to do. So yeah, I mean, do you know what? I love the fact that you're inspired to. This has inspired you to learn rubber band magic, because I mean, hard stretch is great, but rubber band magic is just. It's a whole new world. It should be. I think it shouldn't be below card magic. It should be equal to card magic, right? Because the best thing about rubber bands is that, like a deck of cards, they're normal. Everyone knows what they are. And if you, I mean, I actually had an incident recently where I was on my way to a gig and I left my bag at home like an absolute idiot. Luckily, my mum lived quite near to the gig and to my house, so she was able to drop it off right on the way. So it was a whole ordeal, very stressful day. But I could just go and get some rubber bands from the corner shop round from the gig, and entertain these people with basically, you know, nothing but stuff from the corner shop. I mean, had the corner shop been selling hard stretch, I would have picked up 5 so that I could do that as well, and keep some spare in the car so don't forget any at home for next time. But it's one of those things. It's so normal. You can just pick it up anywhere and just do it. So I mean, if this has inspired you to get into rubber band magic, then I think that's amazing. So I'm very humbled about that.
So,
I love it. Get some questions.
So Jordana wants to know how many rubber bands were on your wrist. I was thinking, was it a bit of a decoy?
No.
Trying to put people off.
No.
How many rubber bands did you have on your wrist?
Do you know what? It changes every day. Sometimes, I mean, I've just worked. I'm not that sad that I sleep with rubber bands on. Okay, I have literally just woken up, so I'm going to put my hands up. I don't have any rubber bands on now because I have just woken up. Okay, but I never leave the house without them. I usually have I have a lot of rubber bands because you also never know when they're useful. I mean, Charlene rocking the long hair. Okay, you never know when a hairband's going to snap, and you go, do you know what? I've got a rubber band.
All the time.
That'll do. Yeah, that really can fix it for now.
So now you're going to be walking around doing hard stretch because you've got these elastic bands on you, and it's your excuse now for.
Exactly. But also, how many? I usually have loads, and you can. I mean, what was the other thing I did? Oh yeah, on my bike light fell off. Rubber band, fix it. And then the best part about it is, I think, is that when I'm out and about, people always ask me. Well, not all the time. Like people I'm chatting to, people don't run across the street to ask me, but they say, "Why have you got those rubber bands on your wrist?" And then, bam, you're into doing the trick immediately, or crazy man's handcuffs or anything like this. Because I think that I don't know about you guys, but I think that magic is at its best when it kind of catches people off guard and they also, when someone asks to see a trick, it's better than you going up to them and saying, "Hey, do you want to see a trick?" Because I think that it feels a bit more special and a bit more like a request. Like he wasn't prepared for anything, and I did just asked him to do a trick, and then he showed me. Even though I'm always prepared because of the rubber bands. So yeah, I don't know how many are in the video, but usually I have like 20 or something like that.
You look very colourful.
Yeah. You can. Well, the rubber bands. I have to give a shout out to the Joe Rhinefleece and the Rhinefleece rubber bands. And at the moment, I'm just going through the blue ones, but I have previously had the multicolour rainbow pack, which has all sorts of different colourful bands in there. There aren't any routines on hard stretch that use multicoloured bands, but now that you're into rubber band magic, you can absolutely find loads of resources on tricks you can do with bands at different colours and stuff like this. So there's so much you can do.
And they're the best bands as well, guys. If you don't actually know,
100%.
Yeah, rubber band magic. He actually treats them with a chemical. I don't know what it is, but he treats them to give it more stretch without it breaking, whatever that may be. They are really the best. So he'll probably do a rubber band collection after you as well, after this, Roman, because I think he's got like Harry Lorraine. He's got a stack of them, right?
Well, we'll find out.
I think Wayne's going, or he may have just gone. So his interconnecting flight to Sydney, they've refueled, haven't they?
Yeah, so Wayne's just getting on a plane. So see you later, Wayne. We'll
see you, Wayne.
Later.
He said thank you, Roman. So cheers, buddy.
Jordan
Wayne
says,
on the plane.
A very good point. I will replace my bracelets with rubber bands from now on. Way more cost efficient. Absolutely. Drew wants to know how old you are now.
Oh, is Drew from the Feds? Okay, well, Drew, I am 25. I don't look it, but I am actually 25. That's why I'm growing a beard, so that people can tell that
I
I'm
think you
25.
just wanted to know how many years in magic you were. So, what did you graduate from uni doing?
I did drama. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, drama. It was alright. It was quite good. I actually did my dissertation on magic as well.
Really?
Because I kind of wanted. Yeah, because I was so bored of everything that we were doing on the course. I was like, I want to do something a bit more fun and interesting. And I actually did like a little magic show as part of my dissertation performance. Which is good fun, but yeah, 25, and I've been doing. I kind of got into it when I was 8, so yeah, like how many? Quite a while. 17.
So I
years,
take it,
like
even though you're doing uni, that obviously this is your full-time job.
Yeah, I do magic all the time. I'm lucky enough to work for Craig and his agencies. So I do kids entertainment as well as close-up magic and corporate events and weddings and all sorts. And wherever Craig sends me, I go there basically.
Fantastic.
But I also get work passed on to me through other magicians that I've managed to befriend over the last few years, and I'm now getting to a point where I'm getting more of my own stuff as well and passing it on to other people. So that feels quite good. You know, I probably shouldn't say this, but you know Wayne Goodman, the legendary creator of Look Sharp. I passed a gig on to him. How cool do you think I felt doing that? Phoning up Wayne. Hey Wayne, I just one of my clients wants to book me, but I'm unavailable. Can you do it? I felt so cool. I felt so cool.
Like
when
you're
I did
in
that.
the in crowd.
There would have been like 20 jokes before he went, yeah, I'm all right. Let me have a look. I'll see if I'm available. And it's just like minute after minute, bang, 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 joke.
He does not stop. He does not stop.
I'm really bad with jokes. I never really get jokes, but with Wayne, he has me in stitches.
Yeah. He's just got funny bones.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Yeah, you
Um,
can't have a straight conversation with him.
so last year, did you do Edinburgh Fringe?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
We've actually
That
got
was
Perth
amazing.
Fringe Festival going on right now, and next month or this month, straight after Perth Fringe Festival, it goes to Adelaide Fringe. So everybody, we've got some really good magicians in Perth, and then they all go to
Oh, cool.
Adelaide as well. So Jordana wants to know what was the wildest thing that happened to you during the shows at Edinburgh?
Do you know what? I should not. I'm a bit ashamed of this story, actually. But the thing about Edinburgh, or any fringe festival really, is you've got to flyer and you've got to go out there and pull people in to come and see your show, because no one knows that you're there. So you've got to sort of scream and shout and make a scene to make people know you're there. So the best thing about being a magician doing a magic show is that you're the coolest flyer ever, because you're doing magic on the street, on the mile in Edinburgh, and rather than just going up to people and shoving a flyer in their face. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I was given a bit of a hot tip, which was to, hang on a second, let me see who told me this. I think I've got it up here. It was oh yeah, there we go. Sorry, I completely forgot. It was John Lenihan. John Lenihan. How can I forget? The absolute legend that is John Lenihan. He said, do Chicago opener, but rather than having a card with a different colour back, have a sticker on it with all the details of your show. Okay, and I was like, genius.
Yeah.
So I was doing Red Hot Momo Chicago opener with this sticker thing. I did it like. By the end of the fringe, I did it about 1,000 times, because I was doing it every day, constantly, all the time. And anyway, there was this, I don't know if you're going to know this guy, but I saw this comedian, right? And I was thinking, oh my God, if I can do it, if I can show him the trick, because he's got his kids, because it's a family show, if I can do this trick on him, he's 100% going to come and see the show. And I'll get like a great review, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? I was getting really excited. Anyway, I was trying to follow him, and I saw him join a queue for food. And when someone's queuing up for food, you can't really fly to them. It's sort of rude. So I did the decent thing and just watched him from a distance for about half an hour.
Like
and
a
then,
stalker.
yeah, exactly. Then when he left the food,
We've all been there.
I pounced over to him and his family. Started doing Red Hot Mama, and anyway, eventually it was like, right, one card has got a sticker on the back. What was your card? He said the 9 of diamonds, and when I turned it over, it was the Jack of clubs, and I was fooled by it. I was like, how the hell has this got worked? This works every time. I've done it 500 times. Now, without trying to without trying to expose it, but to say enough that people here, magicians, should know how it works. I'd set it up twice without realizing. Right. So it had gone completely wrong, and I was panicking and managed to do a quick card to pocket with the 9 of diamonds. Anyway, it was Alex Horn from Taskmaster, who's the comedian who, I don't know if you have Taskmaster over there in Australia, but
No.
it's I know there's a New Zealand version of it. It's like one of the biggest comedy shows in the UK over here, and it's like.
Okay.
Him and Greg Davis from The Inbetweeners, who played the head teacher, they're like the hosts of this show, and I just felt awful afterwards. I just couldn't. It was the worst moment, not of the fringe, but of my whole life. That this guy from one of my favourite shows, the trick had just gone completely wrong. I think I managed to get away. See, that was what I learned in Edinburgh, was how to think on the fly, because you can never anticipate, a stupid mistake like that you're going to make. You think, oh, I'm never going to set it up twice, and then you do without realizing. So you've got to be able to be on the ball and think, okay, I'm in. The alarms are going off. What do I do? Managed to do a card to pocket, and it sort of worked. But he knew that it wasn't what I wanted to happen, and I knew it wasn't what I wanted to happen. But apart from that, the whole fringe was amazing. I had an amazing experience, and everything else went right. All the other tricks went right, and I also learned to never do Chicago opener again. So I haven't done this. I'm joking. So there you go.
Would you do another Fringe?
Yeah, so I was thinking about doing it this year, but I want a holiday. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It was exhausting. It was
It's a
so
lot of
exhausting. I
effort.
think the plan, yeah. The plan for me is to have this year off. It's also expensive as well. So this year off, raising money, putting together a better show for next year as well. I want to do something that's a little bit more interesting, a little bit more challenging, for me. So that's the
Yeah,
that's my plan.
John and I did Fringe 2 years ago. Well, I was backstage
Yeah.
planning and everything with you.
Yeah.
But John was doing a kids magic workshop.
Yeah. And it was full on. The preparation prior to it was at least 6 months prior of getting it all sorted. And then we were in the middle. We actually during the Fringe we went into lockdown here, which is the first lockdown we'd had. And when we come back from lockdown, so I was very grateful that we were sold out up until lockdown. And when lockdown come, then there was major restrictions. There was masks and all that stuff. And at the time, that was like, we hadn't gone through that in Australia at that point. And it was really bizarre. And I remember walking out, and I am not joking here. So I'd come from like the place being packed. We had to relocate to a different location. And then I walked out and there was like 5 people there, sort of scattered. 5 people in mass. And I went, you know what? I'm going to give you more, as well as showing you magic, I'm going to give you a show on top of this, because I'm like, I wouldn't want to be sat there. I can't believe you've come out to see me wearing these masks. And, they just wanted to get out there. But that's the beauty of
we had 2 good
Fringe.
solid weeks.
Yeah.
Or it was 1 week, actually.
Well, I just noticed that Joel's on, so I apologise, Joel, because I know Joel's actually tried to get in touch with me. We've been away, and we actually haven't seen any Fringe shows at all.
No,
we literally got back the other day, which is a shame, because normally we try and go and see. Yeah,
acts on at the Perth Fringe Festival.
We had Ben Hart was here.
I saw his show in Edinburgh. And I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I think that if he's still on, I don't know, is he? He might still be
No,
on.
his last night was last night. So him, Dom Chambers with the Purple Rabbit. I'd love to have gone and seen that.
Dom Chambers. Oh, sorry. I know we're supposed to be talking about Hard Stretch, but his show was like one of the best shows I saw in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so good. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, is he finished as well, I take it?
Yeah, so I believe he might be actually running for a little bit longer, because Ben Hart and the Purple Rabbit were actually in the same venue. We're in the same venue, and there's Charlie Caper's been here.
Have you seen Charlie Caper?
We actually saw.
Best show. Sorry, I know I said just
We saw him the other year.
We saw him 3 years ago.
God,
it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I wish we could have seen.
Away.
I wish we could have come down. I wish I could have seen Joel's show. We always normally go and see the World's Greatest Magic, Charlene.
World's Greatest Magic show. Justin and Sam.
Yeah, Justin and Sam. They're great guys. Basically, Fringe this year has actually been jam-packed full of good magicians. We've obviously had Perth guys as well, but for international
They're starting
acts
to come back slowly.
Yeah, and interstate acts. We've definitely we've been treated this year, even though unfortunately we couldn't see any of the shows. But that's
so. What advice would you give? What advice would you give a child entering into magic? How would they start?
Oh, I would say that my advice is to do more than just magic, right? Go to drama club at school and stuff like this as well. Get into music, get into all of these things, because it can only make your magic stand out and make it better, okay?
Absolutely.
And I think that if you have a fundamental grasp of the basics of magic, You'll only get better and better and better at doing magic. But I think that if you're just stuck knowing card moves and this and that and the other, and you don't understand how to perform, and you don't sort of get to get experience in theatre and stuff like this as well, then I think that your magic will. I think that your magic will be great, but I think it'll be limited to magicians, and I think that magic should be for everybody to enjoy. So I think that if you can also start doing some drama classes and stuff like this, you don't have to be amazing at it, just to kind of have a little bit of it so that you can make your magic even better, I think. But I'd also say that buy tricks, buy books, learn all of this stuff and make it apply to you, because I remember watching some kids doing magic when I used to be in the Young Magicians Club in the Magic Circle, and when I was getting older in the club, sort of like when I was about 15 years old, we'd have some new kids joining that were like 10, and I remember watching them do like gambling demonstrations, right? And talking about when they went to a casino and they started to they were dealt a royal flush, and I was like, you have never been to a casino in your life. You have never ever done this. Okay, this is just not working. Talk about what you're interested in, right? You could do exactly the same routine, but do it with top trumps cards or match tax cards or something like this, or you could do a card trick with normal cards, but make it fun and interesting and what you're into. And I mean, when I was younger, I was in the Scouts and we played card games all the time. So if I wanted to do a gambling routine, I'd make it about, we were at Scouts and we would do it, we were around the campfire doing this. Do you know what I mean? Rather than going into a casino, which, no, I mean, even now I'm 25, and if I said I've been to a casino with my voice, no one would believe me. No one would believe me. So you've got to make it sort of authentic to you, I think. Yeah. And then finally, just show as many people as you can, as much magic as you can. Don't worry if you're boring them. Just keep showing magic to people, because if you don't show magic to people, if someone asks you to do a trick, you might get nervous. So I think just get out there and just do it.
Yeah, it also comes with having good relatives as well, just sitting there and watching the magic and pretending that they've never seen it before. And go, oh, that's really good, that is. That's
Hold on a minute. Are you trying to tell me something here?
I'm always doing that. And John's mum's always done that. My mum always does it. And I know that a lot of people's relatives do the same. But,
you need that though when you're pushing towards something, and you're trying to get there, you're trying to build your confidence, and like even now, like if it's a brand new effect and it might involve certain things, sleights or whatnot, and I go, oh gosh, I'll always run it out between those before I actually go and road test it to friends that are not so pleasant and forgiving.
Yeah,
I like that, to start drama club, because
it's
I
great.
never even thought about that, but I know that our children love drama, and I think it gives them confidence to perform in front of people. And
you'll also be the coolest person in drama club because you can do magic.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. So Drew says, I love the comment from the young girl in the trailer. How did you do that? And Roman's comment was, I don't have a social life. So do you not have a social life?
No comment.
In all honesty, I haven't met too many magicians that actually do have a social life. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm one of them.
Only with other magicians.
Wayne's back. He is back. He's 22,000 feet in the air right now. One thing I will say is...
That's a good magician. That's a good magician.
Yeah, you see, he's flying. We've actually cut the feed to the website because that wasn't running as smoothly, and we seem to be having some interruptions. So we won't be going to the website in a bit, which is okay. So there was something that brand new. Technology and me don't necessarily go hand in hand.
You were at it all day yesterday, weren't you?
I was. I thought I'd succeeded, but it would appear that I haven't. So when it come crunch time.
So
Oh, this is a big one.
He's already answered that, the method behind your creative process. Now, you are coming up with some other new tricks, aren't you, Roman? But we don't want you to divulge too much. But
well, what can I say? So nothing is signed and sealed and set in stone yet. Okay, so I don't want to say too much to get people's hopes up too much as well. However, it is looking very likely that this is going to go ahead, and it's another collaboration with Drew Perry, who made the hard stretch props, and what I can say is it's another genre of magic that I don't think I've seen people. I don't think I've seen people merge these genres of magic before, and it's well, without giving too much away, it's the sort of thing that might make your breath nice and fresh and minty. So we'll leave it at that.
Sounds interesting. And this is actually this is what I like now, the way that magic is heading. And that is, like, I like all these unusual things now that are coming out that actually are new, innovative, and just not your usual kind of magic that you would normally see. So I like when you say, like, you know, not many people have gone down this avenue of the genre that you're on about. I think it's really cool because it's the same with the rubber band, really. Even though there's lots of different things you can do with a rubber band, with this, we'd never seen anything like this, and it was really, really cool. And that's why I said to Peter, yes, we will take some, because I think it's really, really good, and it is unusual to have that. So if you've got something else in the pipeline for another genre of magic that hasn't been explored, I think it's only for the benefit of the magic community. And if it's anything like Hard Stretch, it will be a really good product. And you said Drew's getting involved, so it's going to be extremely well made. Whatever it may be, it's going to be to a high standard.
I mean, Drew, I've only known Drew for like 6 months or something like this, not a long time, but the guy is an absolute superstar. And it's one of these things that I it's an idea I've had for a while, but I've never had the facility to make it, right? And Drew is an actual prop maker for like Game of Thrones and all this sort of stuff,
wow.
right? So if anyone could do it, he can. And I said, oh, Drew, I'm thinking about such and such. And he was like, okay. Next day, sends all these videos, blah, 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 I've got the 3D printer working, I got this and this. I was like, whoa, okay, mate. Slow down a bit. We're going to get carried away here. But it's very, very exciting, and I'm having fun with the prototypes at the minute. But there are better versions that are on the way.
So,
Yeah.
But I'm saying too much.
Are all the? Is it all in your head, and you're just getting it out now, or have you been thinking about it for a while, or is it just ideas that are just coming into your head right now? Recently?
Hard Stretch just popped into my head out of nowhere, and this one is something that I've thought about for a while but didn't know how to make properly, right? And it's just, you know, I mean, I have ideas all the time. Doesn't mean they're any good, but it's you just got to bounce them off people and then see if they work. And with Hard Stretch, it was just a case of having the idea, making it, and then just showing it to a couple of magicians. And then when I showed it to Craig, it just took off, you know, took a life of its own. But yeah, that's something that we're working on. But and then there's a few other ideas brewing, but I have a feeling that might be the next thing.
Yeah, will that be through Alakazam?
I believe so. I'd like it to be, but as I said, we haven't signed anything off yet. But Peter's seen it and he likes it, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
So we'll get it.
That's very promising, isn't it?
That's what John's asking.
Yeah.
Will we be stocking it?
Yeah.
I've got an interesting question. So we're coming up to Blackpool Magic Convention, and obviously we're all in Australia, so we're all very lonely, and it's one of the conventions that everybody would love to go to, but no, Australians don't really go to. So what are you looking forward to? What are the things that you're excited about this year?
Well, I love Blackpool. I go every year, and I have been for the last few years. It's brilliant. This year is the first time I'm going to be on a stand, so I'm working for One Ahead, which is Rory Adams's online sort of magazine, online blog, and yeah, he's got some exciting things planned for that, and I'm sort of one of the writers for the magazine, so I'm going to be on the stand there. So I think that as a result, I'm probably going to miss quite a lot of lectures that I really want to see. But some stand-up ones that I've had a look through the lineup. I'm really interested in Jack Rhodes, who is you might have seen him do like really strange internet stuff. His YouTube and his Instagram is awesome. He does like lie detector tests and stuff like this with a light on his hat. I'm honestly not selling him well enough. He's so funny and so clever and weird and wacky. Jezzo, I don't know if you are familiar with him. He is a family entertainer. He actually won Family Entertainer of the Year, UK Family Entertainer of the Year last year. And at Blackpool, and he's doing his lecture. He's also a good friend of mine. I live in Cambridge, and he's the president of the Cambridge Club. So, so I love working with and hanging out with Jezza. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then a few shows. I know Tom Brace is doing his show. Tom Brace is amazing again. Another friend of mine, and he just smashed it in Edinburgh, and he does every year. And those are the first few things that are coming to mind. I know Jean Miranda as well. He's doing a lecture. Yeah, it's going to be a really good Blackpool, but I just can't wait just to hang out in the Ruskin and just meet everybody.
Like everybody else.
Yeah. And last year, I remember it was really, really windy, right? There was like a storm that hit the UK. And I remember, you've been to Blackpool, right, haven't you?
Yeah.
Many years, you used to go every year.
I used to,
There's a Nando's that's like not so far from the Winter Gardens, right? And it was like walking through thick custard, trying to get to Nando's, because you had all of this air blowing at you in the other direction, right? And you just couldn't get anywhere because it was just. I've never been in a storm like it. I mean, I imagine that the weather in Australia is a bit more extreme every now and then, but you know what us Brits are like. A little bit of wind and we go, oh my goodness, this is torrential, this is crazy. But yeah, I hope the weather's a little bit better this year, but no, I can't wait.
It doesn't help being in winter, does it?
No.
Really?
Blackpool is truly unbelievable, and they really do get some amazing acts, some amazing lecturers, and obviously the dealers there, the dealers hall, if no one's ever been, is just truly unbelievable. I remember when I first started going, it was just in the horseshoe. Yeah, it's unbelievable. So if you're in the UK, make sure you go and see Roman and check out the stand there and say g'day, because we do have Aussies that fly over there. So yeah, make sure that you go and say hello to him.
Who?
Well, I was going to say
there's Aussies going.
Oh yeah.
I was just going to say I also will be appearing on the Alakazam stand as and when I can, Deming Hard Stretch. So
there you
if anyone wants to see Hard Stretch in person, then please do stop and say hello. Yeah.
So we've just had a question here from Drew, and if you read me I did read it a minute ago, and then I can answer it fully because.
How long do you think, on average, the prop will last? Being rubber and all, have you had someone hold it and then snap it? Will it be easy to get more pieces, as in parts, without buying the whole units?
I don't think you can get parts individually. you'll have to get the whole unit, but it's very, very
Robust.
well made. It's very robust. I mean, that isn't to say it won't break if you're not careful with it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, mobile phones nowadays, you know, they've got all of these amazing sort of like hazard protections on them, but if you drop it on the floor, it's gonna, you know, you're not careful with it, it's gonna smash. So you gotta, I wouldn't be handing it out to someone that is just going to grab it like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to have a bit of audience management about yourself.
Yeah.
But it's very robust. I mean, I sit with it all the time. I throw it about, knock it here.
Yeah. So then
it's very strong. The
the
rubber.
go on.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Sorry, you go on.
No, you go. It's all right. Well, I broke up then. As I started talking, I thought you'd finished. So apologies.
Oh yeah. No, sorry. I was going to say, the rubber is so crucial to the believability of the routine, because what's cool about it is that they can feel it and it does feel like rubber, right?
Yeah.
So you do, but I very rarely hand it out to sort of be examined, because it's not really something that it's begging to be examined, right? But it can be. That being said, it is rubber and it can chip away, right? So we have a Facebook group that people can join, and I mean, there's loads of supportive comments on there. The odd person that's had a bit of rubber chip away, Pete's gone on and he's found like spray that you can use to spray over it to completely cover it up, just come back to normal completely. So
Wow.
if the rubber does chip away, it's sorted very, very easily. And you can also just use a blue Sharpie pen as well, just to fix it like that. But no one questions it. I mean, you should have seen the original version I had, right? That was just absolutely terrible and jaggedy and awful, and had bits of paint spluttering off it like this, and just awful. And everyone still believed it was a rubber band. So I know if it does start, I mean, the one I've got hasn't been chipping, and I've used it at countless gigs before Hard Stretch came out. So a good sort of five or so months now, and it's been absolutely fine. But
So the only other thing that you'd need to add,
large chips away.
yeah, the only thing
bit of this spray, it'll fix out.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll find that out for anybody that's got it. If they do need it, it's a phone call to Peter, and he'll tell me. But the only other thing is that it comes with all this, by the way, are just the rubber bands. Now, obviously, the rubber bands themselves over time will break, but you get heaps, and you're normally only going to use. Well, for the routine, there's like one, but if you're going to do like a crazy man's, you'd use both of them. In any case, you'd use two. I can't remember exactly how many bands you actually get in here, but it's enough. Otherwise, you just buy, like, they come in those bags of like 100 or something like that. But the actual gimmick itself, like Roman says, you can give it to somebody, but as long as they don't physically bend it, because it's like they're going to ruin it, obviously. But in its normal form, it's going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah. Normal form. I mean, a gig recently, and this kid like grabbed it and started to pull it, right? And I was like, quick, get off him. It survived, right? He was trying to put the tension in it, and it did survive, right? But I did panic a little bit, because I was like, am I gonna have to get another one of these?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just as with everything, just common sense, you know, and just take care of it. I mean, we talk about how to look after it on the project as well, right? And if it does snap, honestly, a bit of super glue just does manage to fix it perfectly as well. So it's there's no need to buy another one if there's a little bit of damage here and there, because it's gonna it's designed to last a while. It will last a while. And you can
100%.
look after it to make it last even longer. The only reason why you'd have to buy another one is if you lose it, or if you love it so much that you just want to have a spare. That's literally the only reason.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, like we've had a few, not all obviously, but some of the guys that are actually going out and gigging with this have actually brought a backup, which is like most working pros, if they really like it and they do use it a lot, they will normally get replaced as a backup. I've got backups of other things as well, so it's probably not a bad idea if you know 100%.
As well.
Yeah, if you know what I mean. Like it's probably not a bad idea if it's something that you're going to use all the time. Then that's great. But I really just love just having that moment of just having the elastic bands there and then just doing it. Like it's really organic, to be honest with you.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's really addictive. And when you do it, I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent now, but when you do it in front of the mirror, because I was practicing it, I'm like, this thing here, because you obviously do when there's a movement like this, and I'm like, oh my God, it looks like I'm really just got the elastic band doing this. And then you just hold it there, and I'm like, it looks amazing. It really sells like...
Can I just say that move, I find it very easy because I've been doing it all the time, right? So if people are nervous about doing it the first few times, like with anything, practice makes perfect. You will get it eventually. But you don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it. You could literally just do a much easier version like this. Do you know what I mean? And go straight into it, and it will fly just as well. But I like doing that move because I think that by doing that move, you can have someone feel the rubber band, feel it stretching, feel it, and then a second later it's changed. A second later. So that's why I like doing that. But if you find that a bit daunting, that's not the only thing you can do. There's other ways of doing it as well.
Yeah, and to be clear, like the bigger motion definitely covers the smaller motion, which is easy to do in any case. So, but it's really, really good. So hopefully, Drew, that answers your question. I'll catch up with you in any case tomorrow. So if you do have any more questions, let us know. Obviously, by the way, guys, this is on our website. You can't get it from anyone else but Global Magic Shop in Australia or New Zealand. We've got the Australian exclusive on this, and so I believe that's on our homepage on Trending now.
Yeah, well, the trending.
The trending. So that means we're selling them. If it's trending on the homepage, it means they're selling. Popular. So, which is always good. We actually sold out of the first batch and actually had to wait for the second batch to come in. So we do have them. That's why, obviously, we've got Roman on, because I'm like, people need to know who you are, what you're about, so that Australian magicians, so that Australian magicians know what they're buying and who really they're buying it off, to be honest with you, because it really is a good product, and you should be proud of it, and I hope you are proud of it, because it's really good.
Oh, thank you very much. I am really proud of it. I mean, it's such a weird thing. Like last year was such a crazy year for me because I did the Fringe and I had Hard Stretch coming out, and it was my first full year in the Magic Circle as well. I literally just got into it in December the year before, so like it was just such a crazy year, and to end with Hard Stretch, you know, finally coming out after knowing about it for ages, and then people responding to it so well, it meant the world. I have to say it. So thank you very much for enjoying it. And do you know what? I also have to say that Craig Petty is on the project. Okay, he's not on the trailer. He's not on the trailer. He's not on the box. I mean, contrary to popular belief, I know that like it, but he's not on the box. But yeah, he is like, you know, he's a bit of you put him on anything and it will just sell out like that. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that Peter has been confident to not tell anyone that he's involved in it, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Makes me feel quite good as well. But he's on there, and there's so much that we cover and go through. But yeah. Well,
every time like we talk to, we've got a really good working relationship with Alakazam. And so Peter will you know, we show each other all the time what's new and what's going to come out and things like that. But I can honestly tell you that he was really excited over this, wasn't he? Very. Like he was like this and the Mirage coin set.
Oh yes.
He was like constantly. I got another handling. Let me show you this. And he's got his little table. And he's so he'd be like, get me Charlene, John. It's not. He doesn't do it for me. Where's Charlene? And so he'll bring it, gets a little table, he does it for Charlene. Charlene goes, oh, that's really good, you know. And so he knows he's on to a winner when Charlene gives it to Charlene.
When you show me new stuff, though, I don't fake it.
Yeah.
I'm mostly always amazed.
Yeah. But when he used this and he did it, I didn't see it. And it's really well orchestrated, like we've said before. So, yeah, it's really, really good. But I know he was really talking this up. And the Mirage coin set, he was very, very happy. He's happy with everything he brings out, but
nearly all our customers have had the Mirage coin sets.
Yeah,
they're just blown away by.
Yeah, and if you're watching this, we'll be getting more in stock soon.
The Mirage coin set is fantastic. I mean, everything that Alakazam bring out and everything that Peter Nardi's hands touch it just turns to gold, you know. And I think that. He's also just a lovely man to have the pleasure of knowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been aware of Alakazam for years. I've been buying stuff from Alakazam since when I was like 10 years old, right? But now to sort of have my foot in the door and him sort of take me under his wing and look after me at Alakazam and everyone at Alakazam, really. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure. So I'm happy that sort of now I'm sort of on the other side of the the magic world, and I get to sort of see what's behind the scenes. So what a better place than Alakazam.
Yeah.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to seeing more from you, Roman. More tricks, and when do you think the next one will be out?
Do you know what? I have absolutely no idea. I'd like to say by the end of this year, start of next year, but I mean, as we've learnt, it's kind of hard making stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's a very long
finding
process.
The right people to do it. However, it's a very long process. However, we have Drew Perry on our hands, and he's got some of his own stuff that's coming out, which is absolutely genius. So hopefully in the next year or so, but I'm literally just guessing. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we won't push you anymore. We won't push you anymore about the new release. I think you've been gracious enough to at least give us a reasonable sneak peek into what it could be. Were there any more questions?
That was it.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like to ask, Charlene?
I've got everything that I want. Good luck with Blackpool. I hope you enjoy it. We're missing out.
Oh, thank you. Shame you're not there, but hopefully next year.
Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully we will. I might try. I'm desperately trying to. I'm really considering. I was talking to somebody today, and I found out that they're going to Magic Live, and it may sway my decision because I did want to go to Magic Live this year, but we may end up going to Blackpool next year if we can get a spot. It's pretty full on. For those that haven't been to Blackpool, and if you go as speaking as a dealer now, it is literally 3 to 4 days. 4 days with you setting up and whatnot, and dropping down. It is full on. Like, you don't get a break from start when the doors open to the close. You can't get to any lectures. You can't get anything. It's constant damn. So I really do hope you get the time to go and watch something.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find out. I mean, I'm knackered already, and I haven't even gone just thinking about it.
But are you still on student mode, Roman?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I was not even on student mode when I was a student.
Oh dear.
I remember when I finished my degree, though. I think I did 2 years of solid sleeping.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank, obviously, Roman for joining us, giving us your time this morning. Really appreciate that, and sharing your insights, and obviously with the Q&A of Hard Stretch and a few other things, and just your experience in Magic. So it's been really good fun having you on. I want to thank Charlene. Obviously, this is a little bit unusual for most that watch a live, that Charlene is sitting next to me. So we're going to incorporate Charlene more into the lives, because I get a little bit lonely here just talking to what would appear to be a camera. Even though you guys are all here, it's a little bit strange. So it's nice having Charlene here. And
thank you to everyone that's joined us today.
Yep.
And we look forward to seeing you all on the next Q&A.
Yep.
We'll announce it soon through our newsletters.
Yeah, and we'll try and have another live next week, possibly Thursday or a Friday. But we'll try and do something then. Maybe Thursday. What do you reckon, Charlene? Thursday. I think we'll do Thursday. Well, we'll send a newsletter out. It'll be out there in any case. But yeah, we're definitely going to try and do these Q&As because I think you guys like it. And it's good for you to also meet the creators of these products and actually get their insight on what it's actually taken to come to market. Because a lot of people don't realise how difficult it is and how long you actually have to road test stuff and all the problems and the road bumps. So again, thanks for sharing that with us, Roman, and it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
My absolute pleasure. Thanks so much. My dog has just set off at the minute. I don't know if you can hear her.
That's okay.
I think she's trying to say hello to everyone in Australia.
Oh.
So, yeah, no, I just wanted to also say that I'm on Facebook and stuff. So if anyone's got any questions or anything that hasn't been covered today, just drop me a message and I'll try and get back to you. And I'm going to the Magic Circus tonight, so I'm going to have a long train journey that I will have time to answer any extra questions that anybody
awesome.
has about it. So or anything about magic in general. So
that's
or
great.
anything about how to grow your hair out. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we'll leave it at there then.
Yep, that's great. So, guys, obviously just stick around, Roman. But, guys, we will say goodbye now. I will try and get the feed to the website working next time because we've got a few ideas and a few things that we're going to start implementing, which is really cool, just for the website. So until then, guys, thank you so much for all being with us and sharing your afternoon, night, morning, wherever you may be in the world right now. Thank you so much. Once again, Roman, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.